Hey Internet, it's RJ. Welcome back. Thanks for tuning into the show today. Now today's episode, we are ready to close the book on December, not only the month, but the year 2023. But before we do, we must do our classic Q&A to wrap up shop. So, you know the deal, Riller goes up. I answer your questions in the order they come in. So in this episode, we've got Amex trolls. We're talking about why my shirt is so tight, what I think about Wells Fargo, my favorite credit cards I've gotten value from, all that and more. We go really, really long, but we want to give everyone a thorough answer. So chapters 2 with the description of the questions will be down below. Feel free to bounce around at your heart's content. Without further ado, go ahead, press the subscribe button, and let's get to work here. So, Caesar, friend of the show, he's starting us off, and he could not start us off in like a worst possible way. He says, knowing that you are a loyal Team Amex customer that holds the business gold, and the Amex business checking account, I do have those. What are other lesser banks like Chase have to do for you to switch team? So like switch back to Chase. So I think I did a whole video on like I hate the business gold, but it made sense because it's got the $150K offer and the annual fees going up in February. So I got it begrudgingly. It made sense. Let me tell you. Let me tell you why I hate this. All right. So I was trying to use the credits. Okay. I was gonna download. I downloaded the Grubhub app again. I was like, all right, there's a pizza spot maybe a mile from the house, closest place I can get. Load up the gold card, order the pizza thing through the app. Great. Go to the place, pick it up. Can RJ have his pizza, please? They said, what are you talking about? Someone picked that thing up like 10 minutes ago. You kidding me? That probably wouldn't have happened if I didn't go through this Grubhub thing, right? If I just called the restaurant directly and ordered the pizza, I could have just done that. Like, the credits drive me crazy. That was my first experience being back in the credit coupon world. Someone just snatched my pizza. I mean, I don't know if it was malicious. I don't know. I feel like you would notice, though, like, what are the chances it was exact? I don't know. But I don't care. I do like Amex Business Checking. I mean, their app sucks. It used to be decent, but now it sucks, so they need to fix that. But I do, because it's hard to find a good user interface, no annual fee business account. It really is. But again, I'm just Team Chase. I just cashed in on my Chase points for the year, 1 cent a point. I didn't have to worry about this nonsense MR value, so really the question is, what does Amex have to do to keep me coming back? Like, apparently they need 150K or less, or I'm not getting out of bed. I hate this card. I want to be sick of it and go back to my flimsy plastic cards. I hope that makes you happy, you Amex troll. He knows I'm kidding. Well, I'm not kidding about the Amex answer, but I do like Caesar. But he asked that to get that reaction in case you're new here. I didn't want you to think I'm just mean to people who write in. Yeah, that's exactly what he was looking for. All right, Mr. Venture himself. On a recent podcast, you mentioned the smaller shirt with bigger arms. Which podcast could it have been? I think it was his, which I agree with, but where do you find shirts that the sleeve length is optimal for showing that off? Also, we'll answer a second question in a second. So, where do I get my clothes from? So, anything dress shirt related, suit related, I have a guy for that you go get measured up and they make it for you. Anything dress shirt related. More casual stuff like this, I'm a big Ministry of Supply fan, right? Now, I started wearing their stuff back in the day before they got super expensive. Now, a polo shirt's like $80 or something like that. And then I wear, like, underneath it, I wear black t-shirts every day. I have 10 black t-shirts, and that's what I wear. And if I'm going to be on air, I should at least put a collar on, right? Ministry of Supply, that's their collars. I like them because their collars stay up. It's kind of like a sport-ish material, not quite a dry fit, but it also fits me. This is a medium. I'm 5'10", 176. I find it very hard to find clothes, hence having to get my dress clothes made for me. You know, I think, you know, everywhere else I'm probably a medium, but like up top I'm generally probably a large, not to brag. So it fits me. The sleeves hit perfectly. That's kind of where you want your sleeve to be. I went through a phase where I got to learn all there is to know about men's fashion and suits, so I know a ton about this stuff. So Ministry of Supply, I liked cuts. Like, I liked the material, the feel of a cuts shirt, but cuts didn't work for me because I'm too short, I guess, because cuts would fit, but then to get the right fit, it would be way too long, and generally you want these to hit like right just under the belt, give or take. You don't want to be super, like, cuts will come down to like, you know, past the crotch area. There's mostly dudes watching. I think we can be honest about that. So I didn't do cuts. Mack Weldon's been okay for me as well. I think I have 1/4 zip sweater from them. It's a little hard to take off, but that's fine. So yeah, I usually try to go, I'm a medium in most things. I really don't want to get my casual clothes tailored. So Ministry of Supply, it's expensive now, but I do think it's worth it, especially on the polo and t-shirt side of things. Next question. If this question is no good, it's very good. I spent 2 minutes talking about shirts. I'd love to know how you delegate your time in a given day. Do you separate things by task and by time? I mean, I kind of just look at it all as like, here are the things I need to do. So some of it's, I guess the average day would be like, you know, wake up at 5, the gym by 5:30, probably home by 8. Shower there, so eat breakfast. Then I'll do the company I work for is based out of Wisconsin. They're Central Time, so we're like an hour to mess around, answer comments, the stuff that came in from the overnight, and then it's mostly work, you know, regular work, and then like around lunch or then, you know, after work I'll check in and get back to doing this stuff. But I kind of just make a list of like, here's the things I need to do, because I'm not opposed to like doing a work related thing on a Saturday if that's the thing I need to get done, and then doing, you know, some videos and stuff like that. So I kind of just look at it all running together, like here are the things I need to do. And it also helps that, like, you know, I don't have like a family or kids or like anything else to do or a life really. So usually for me it's not too bad, and it's more so just discipline of knowing, you know, I have to have these videos out by this time, right? I know the Q&A has a set time of month that it goes out. The Sunday show is a set time. And then a lot of it's like pre-making. A lot of times the videos that people watch have been made like a month or two ago, because I try to go into the month actually with 4 videos in the chamber. Like the Thursday ones we do, they're just like a topic specific, just so I have them in case I can't get to them. The other channel, the second channel, I only work a week in advance, because sometimes if you work farther ahead, those videos go bad. They end the bonuses. So I'm always trying to at least work a minimum of a week ahead. Main channel, we're like 4 weeks ahead technically. So a lot of planning and process is more the thing, so I know what I'm doing, when I need to do it by type deal. Hope that helps. Inevitable. I have one of each ink card except for the Premier, and I have 3 business platinum cards. Good Lord. Through no lifetime language offers. Have you met Caesar? Do you think I can get any more ink or business platinum cards? Yeah, I mean, I had all the ink cards at one point, all 4 of them. I think I've got a link over at profitablecontent.com if you want to support your guy for the ink Premier. I mean, I've been talking to somebody in my channel members group who's like got like an ink card every 30 days for like the last 3. So for the last 3 months. So I think I feel confident that you'd get an ink Premier. I held all 4 at once. I don't have them anymore, but I did, so I have no problem there. Business Platinum, I mean, if they keep sending you no lifetime language, sure. I mean, I don't know. Yeah, because there's like the charge card limit with Amex is like 10, even though you're not supposed to call them charge cards anymore. So, yeah, I think the platinum cards I don't know enough about, I would guess. I mean, what's the difference between 3 and 4, right? I get it, because the real thing is like they're just going to manage your purchase power. The ink card I'm pretty sure on that you'd be fine. I'm positive you'd be fine. The business platinum, as long as they have no lifetime language, I think they'd be fine. I mean, I think you'd be more inclined to run into pop-up jail than anything else, but I don't think we see pop-up jail as much on the business side, especially if you're running to spend through them. And I hope no one steals your pizza if you use the credits, but I think you should be fine. Credit for Eve here. Great content, bro. Well, thank you, bro. I like when people say nice things about me. Do you think Wells Fargo will come out with its own Trifecta in 2024? If they do, do you think it will compete with the big 3? Yes, I think they're going to come out with a Trifecta, and I think it will be pretty good. Wells Fargo Trifecta last go around wasn't bad. Like, the expectation was managed because it was free, right? So like, if you're an Amex Trifecta and you cost like $10 million to run, well then my expectation is pretty high. If you're Chase and like your Trifecta can be run for as little as $95, well then my expectation is like low to medium. It's, you know, pretty good. I think Wells Fargo has seen the space. Cards are now punching up from 95 to like 150. The high end, I mean, we've got cards going for $650, $700, and for the right clientele, that's fine. Also, Wells Fargo is a Power 5 bank. I think they're what, the 3rd or 4th biggest one. It's Chase Bank of America. I forget who's next. It's maybe Wells Fargo, then Citibank, then U.S. Bank. I can't remember the exact order of the latter. The middle 2, but all that to say, I mean, they've got the clientele for it for sure. So I do think, you know, their autograph active cash stay. I still think they're looking at one card with we had this in the news story once. 2 cards in the autograph line, a mid-tier and a higher tier, kind of like the Sapphire line runs, I think. Because I don't think you want to get rid of the base autograph card. It's really good. I mean, I have that card. So I do think it'll be a decent trifecta. I mean, the real thing about it is, I guess the 2 questions to answer that we don't yet know is, will they have transfer partners? Well, they said they have transfer partners. They said they're going to have transfer partners. So who are the transfer partners going to be? You know, there's hope that, you know, with their partnership with Bill, like maybe they at least have the phone number to some of these people, and they can get them as transfer partners. But it's either that, or I think some of the miles, buying the miles as an issuer can be quite expensive. There's that, and is there going to be any like points portal boosts or things like that? I still to this day think someone else needs to copy Bank of America's preferred reward system. You know, you could either go the Chase route where you get more money through the portal, fine, or you can go Bank of America route where you have preferred rewards. I feel like Citi should really do that, but I mean, Wells Fargo could. So I think it's going to be good. I think they're going to have a trifecta. Positive it'll be a trifecta because that's what everyone's doing, and I think it will be decent. Will it be? It's not going to do the same thing American Express does. Like, will it compete with Chase or like the Capital One? You know, I think Capital One's actually the one to look at, you know, is more of like a duo than anything else. But I think it could potentially rival Capital One and what they've done with the Venture X and the Saver card, which they don't even talk about that. They just kind of, they exist, and if you know, you know. So yeah, I have decent expectations for what Wells Fargo is going to do. You know, I think, yeah, if you were affected by what they did in their fraudulent accounts, then you should never forgive them. But for the rest of us, I think we're kind of past that, which, again, it's easy to say if you weren't affected. But, yeah, I think they're ready to take a step forward. And if they don't, then they kind of run the risk of, at least in the credit card division, you know, being outdone by Capital One. And cards are how you get new consumers. So, yes, long answer, yes. Abdu Ali here. He's oh, look at that green logo by your name. Looks lovely. He's here to say plug profitable content and channel memberships. Well, I didn't tell him to do that, but I do appreciate it. He is one of our younger members, and we've been working together to get him on a game plan for 2024 where he's bringing in about $1,000 a quarter in promotion. So since he asked for it, unsolicited, mind you, we do have channel memberships here, and on the second channel, the way it's set up is you just join on either channel and you get access to the members' Discord, right? And the goal here is that to build a profitable community of folks who want to go after bonuses together, you know, share data points. You know, I've had folks come in and like run like Acorns plays where, like, you know, they need 4 people to sign up, and they split the money and stuff like that. Of course, when we have referral links, we just, you know, refer each other. But the main takeaway, what makes it different than other groups is, you know, not that I'm not naming names, I mean, because this is the same across genre of YouTube. But when I looked at it, I was like, what can we actually do here to make a difference, right? And so it is $5. You cancel anytime you want, but the benefit is that I will use your referral links in blog posts and videos, and you get to keep all that money. So I guarantee people will, at least their membership will be free for a year, though there is no earning cap on what you can earn. I don't keep track. The only thing I do keep track of is making sure everyone's had a chance to at least earn something. Now, this does work a lot better if you do bank promotions as well. Credit cards are a harder sell, but bank promotions, we can usually run a lot of people through those offers, and you're going to make money as well. So when I looked at it, I wanted to do something that I thought was missing, but added legitimate value, monetary value to people. So it's priced at $5 because I want to make money, but I've set it up that you will make much more money. There's also just a component of not only being able to talk to me, but other like-minded people. I mean, we have people there who just like to ask questions and learn, or like plan, like this gentleman here, and we'll sit down like, okay, well, what's your goal? We'll build out a plan to get you to $1,000 a quarter based on like what you make and what's realistic. So again, you can cancel anytime. I've tried very hard to like make it a meaningful channel membership experience versus some that are just like, hey, I'll respond to your comments. It's my job to respond to your comments, right? That's you know, I ask you to comment, the least I can do is respond, and things like that, add actual value. So I would, you know, encourage all of you to check it out. I think we're like 50 members strong, give or take. I might make an update video, just kind of like letting everyone know how it goes and what the results were, so people kind of see, make it a little bit more transparent. But again, that's the only thing I paywall as well, is just getting your links in videos and blog posts. So again, join button down below if you are interested. Thanks for the shameless plugs solicitation. Red Sox Nation here. So do drunk times with RJ. Oh, he's my full name. Like, Jesus, I could be in trouble. My government name. With Ryan Johnson's segment, what is your favorite time of you being drunk? I mean, this will be a bit of a killjoy for you, but, you know, I don't drink, and it's not like yay, bring back Prohibition. I really don't care for the taste of alcohol. Like, it's just not good. It just tastes bad, to me. You know, I know you can mix it in a bunch of stuff and things like that, but I've never really been into it at all, so I don't really have a good story. Here's a story of this might help, because this guy, so Red Sox Nation claims that we've worked together. I don't know who he is, but you might know this place. So downtown Detroit, I don't remember the name of it, there's like a wine bar or something. I think it's down the street from a restaurant called Small Plates. Again, this is basically just me talking to one guy. So one time after work, years and years ago, I went on the date with this girl, and we went to like this wine bar, all things. So I remember the guy like trying to, the guy behind the counter, like he was gonna like, you know, because you're supposed to know what you like to drink, and then he was supposed to let me taste all these things. I was like, you know what, dude, just this one's fine. I'm not gonna like it anyways. But you know, I didn't say that. But I'm trying to get through it. I'm not having a good time with the drink. So I think the young lady finished her glass and ended up finishing mine, because I was like, I'm not gonna be able to get through this. It just tastes so bad. Like it's just that there's like the initial taste of like, I'm just, as an uninitiated wine person, like the fruit in it or the grapes or whatever, that's fine. I like grape juice, but then like the alcohol taste hits you. I'm like, this is horrible. I hate it. So she ended up finishing that. Not my best showing. You know, I did get a second date. I only got a few more after that, but it didn't help. And I remember another time going to, like, we talked about suits, going to my suit guy, had a grand opening at his new store, and he had some dude who's like made their own bourbon. So I'm down there with another date, and she's got her bourbon glass, and like I think it was Barat. I have no idea really. Like I'm trying to get through it and tell me more about how you did this. It's great. Like I'm just here to get an overcoat made, but I think she finished a glass as well, because I'm like, this just tastes so bad. So those are stories. How about that? Those are stories for you of me not going well. But it just doesn't taste good to me, man. Like I drink a lot of water, like, which sounds very nerdy, but I run like 5 miles in the morning, and then I'll walk 2 up an incline. So like I'm constantly just trying to put back water. So sorry, but those are my story. I hope those consolation stories did help. And if you know the plot spot that I'm talking about, let me know in the comments. All right, they hate me. What is the longest time you've ever been in the garden? Oh, that's an easy one. So probably 2020. When I started looking for my second house, it took me like 5 or 6 months to find it. And so I just didn't get any credit cards during that. So it probably ended up being like an 8 or 9 month, all around garden period. Because part of 2020 was like you couldn't go and like, you weren't supposed to go do showings for houses, right? Which was a weird thing. You're supposed to be buying these houses sight unseen, but people would still let you. They're like, if you're serious, we'll get you in here. It's not a big deal. Like they weren't like policing it, but you weren't supposed to be going through tons of showings. And it just took a long time. So when you're buying as like an investment, you know, you look at it and you're like, well, you know, that's great that you want $120, but like I see 100 here because I see 20 grand worth of work. But then other people were coming who were going to buy it to live in it, and they don't care. They say, you want 120? Well, we have 120. Here you go. So it just takes a long time. And in fact, the only reason it ended was because the house I got, was like a little 1,000 square foot bungalow deal. For like, I think $116,000, really nice starter home. We went to see it, and like, we just got lucky because like the guy before, his financing fell through, which is a very nice way of saying either you got fired or you did something stupid, because that's really the only way that financing falls through as far as like commitment letters go. And they're like, all right, well, his just fell through, and we were just literally the next people to come see it. And they're like, all right, you can just swap in and take his place. But it was like 5 or 6 months because I was doing that. I also did a run where I went through a ton of business cards. Now, that's not gardening, but that also helps, you know, contribute to like the 524 stats, where I was doing a ton of business cards. But it was that 2020 run looking for that house. That took a while to find. All right, Boxer Kid, if you can add 2 new food credits to the gold card, which food chain would it be? Second, Team Jordan or Team Yeezy? In last, how do you play Starfield on X? Okay, I like these questions. Food credits, dude, just give me something simple. I want McDonald's. Like, I know we talked about working out. Like, why do you go to McDonald's? Because I'm not a foodie, all right? I'm really not. I enjoy a good trip to McDonald's. Like, we talked about what I drink. I will drink soda or pop if you prefer, if it's McDonald's Coke. That's the only one I'm drinking. Like, Coke from anywhere else, not even tempting. Like, I'd rather have water than Coke from Burger King. Like, it's not good. McDonald's Coke, next level. So give me a McDonald's credit. And I kind of want a generic credit, like, but you could give me like a pizza one or something. Because my generic credit would be back to our Detroit guy. If you remember Cadillac Diner, like, that was the spot to go to for work. That used to be like a standing room only place, man. During for work, that was great. You're talking about being treated like a king. I love that place, but I mean, that's never going to be a credit. So I go McDonald's 1, and I guess I'd throw a pizza chain in there 2. I don't really have a favorite pizza chain. It's all kind of the same to me, but that's what I would do. Whichever would be fine. I mean, well, if you leave it to Amex, they pick some fancy pizza chain, which would be awful. So, I mean, I'd rather have them pick a Pizza Hut than whatever they would pick. But that's what I would do. Just some real, and they have Walmart, so don't tell me, like, they can't do it. Team Jordan or Team Easy. I'm not a big sneaker guy. The only set of sneakers I actually own are Nike Pegasus, and I wear them to the gym. They're in all black. Other than that, like, the lowest class shoe I'll go is, like, the knit Cole Haans. But I will say with absolute positive conviction, the Yeezys look god-awful. I don't know what people see in them. I've seen one that looked like someone stuck it in the microwave and it melted, or they just put a bunch of holes in it or something. I have no idea. Not a fan. Don't understand it. If you like them, more power to you. You could hate black shirts. I understand. Yeezys got all. I just don't get. I've never understood it. Jordans. I mean, but it's also kind of unfair because there are so many different Jordans. I mean, but the classic ones are solid. The classic red and black. I don't know the names of them, but I'm more confident that I could walk in and find a pair of Jordans and I'm like, okay, I like these versus Yeezys, which I just don't even understand. So easy. How to play Starfield on Xbox? What do you think? Okay, spoilers. Starfield it's just like a classic what could have been. So for those of you who don't know, it's an Xbox exclusive, and it's kind of like a role-playing RPG game. Think of like Fallout, but like in space, right? And so the developers, Bethesda, they built a world, right? There's a definite Starfield universe where you can do, well, there's a lot to do, but it's just so boring. Like, they forgot to give you a reason to care, in my opinion. So, like, with games like Fallout, because I think Fallout 3, when you were in, like, DC, is the last one that I, like, seriously played. But, I don't think the story was that great in Fallout, because it was like, wait, your dad ran away and you gotta save the water supply? Like, fine, whatever. But there was, like, a lot of interesting stuff to do in Fallout. You could blow up Megaton City, you'd be walking and just see something over there, or you'd find another vault and go explore that. Starfield, it's just boring, and I don't really understand. Like, I don't even care. Like, at least if you look at Mass Effect, like, I would find myself clicking the extra dialogue options to learn more. And, like, in Mass Effect, like, there's nothing better than your first Mass Effect playthrough, another role-playing game, where your choices actually seem to matter. Because your first trip to Vermeer, ever, and, like, Rex can die. I remember reloading that checkpoint. Because it was like, there's no way I'm going to shoot this guy, because I had to miss something. I cared enough to reset the checkpoint. Starfield, I don't even care. I don't even read half the dialogue anymore. Because it doesn't matter. Like, I don't know. It's just boring. So I paid $70 for it, so I'm still playing it. I'll probably try to get all the achievements in it, because I paid $70 for it. But it's not fun, it's boring, and I think people giving it such a high score are people who had these high expectations and they feel let down, but they don't want to feel let down. And we all kind of want to be a little nice, because a lot of work clearly went into it. They built the world, they just forgot to put a story in it. So that's my Starfield. I don't even think we did spoilers, actually, but that's my Starfield synopsis. Not great. Let me know when GTA 5 comes out. So much so that I was like, you know what, maybe I should get a PlayStation, because PlayStation seems to have the better games. That's how bad Starfield was. I like Xbox much better, but everyone's raving and having a good time playing Spider-Man over there. I'm like, maybe I should just get a PlayStation. Anyways, Vincent here. As of this writing, we don't know who Apple would partner with to handle the Apple Card. Amex and Synchrony, among others, have been mentioned as potential partners. One name that hasn't been mentioned is Citi. Do you think they would be a viable partner for Apple? So, I mean, I think the thing is, anyone could do it. Like, running a card program is in their in banks' core competencies to run. If not, then they're with Elan Financial Services. So they could all do it. The question is more so, am I going to bow down to Apple and their demands, and what am I going to get from it? And the problem you have with the top banks is they don't need them. Like, they're like, it's fine, especially because we know how Apple structures things. The best example, and I've talked about this a few times in the Sunday show, but I forgot about this point, is that you remember like the iPad first came out, like it's going to replace books, Fahrenheit 451, all that good stuff. And so they added like the New York Times or Bloomberg or something to iPad and like that magazine app they had or whatever. And Bloomberg and those guys would complain. We were like, well, give us the email addresses to the customers because they're our customers. And Apple would be like, no, they're our customers and we protect their email address. And so it started to not work so well for those newspaper publishers, magazine publishers, because Apple's like, we're not sharing the customer data. And that's the biggest issue you're going to have with someone in this. Like, I think Citi could do it, Bank of America could do it, Chase could do it. They could even give Apple all of the demands they want. Because if you think about it, if I have a massive portfolio of credit cards, so, you know, if I have the Sapphire line, the Ink line, the Freedom line, the United line, the Hyatt line, all that, and just one of those lines has it so that the bills are always due on the 1st or the 31st of the month to make things easy, you can tank that because there's still enough diversity in dates across the portfolio that it doesn't matter. It's not just all your money's out, then all your money's hopefully coming back in. You can tank that. You can tank not having fees on one of your products if there's an upside to it, and I think that's the thing. So no, back to Citi. No, I don't think Citi would have any interest in it. They don't have any co-branded partners now except for Costco and AT&T. The AT&T card isn't even good. They don't even have any business cards except for like the Costco business card. Even Verizon is a business version of the Verizon card. AT&T business card seems like a logical choice. Like, no, we don't even care. So now, could Citi do it? Yeah, but I don't think Citi needs to do it. I don't think Citi's really shown any interest in being overly aggressive. And plus, another good point is, like, what does the Apple Card consumers actually look like? Because on one end, people say, yes, Apple is very expensive stuff, and this, that, and the other. Like, sure. But when you offer the card to everybody, what does that customer base actually look like? If I'm Citi and I know I like high net worth clients, like, well, you got a lot of junk in the Apple portfolio, which we all know, so maybe I don't want to do it. Plus, if I take it on, I'm already setting aside so much money for expected losses. To bring on a portfolio like that, to have to set aside even more cash for potential losses is a lot. So I really think this comes down to, will you let me cross-sell? And I still think the leader would be Chase with an outside edge to Capital One because Capital One can handle subprime, and they're trying to punch up a little bit more upstream, and it would help them to have another card, for the cashback inclined, I think. So no to Citi. I still think it's Chase or Capital One. I think that's a lot more stuff than you actually asked me, but that's kind of my thoughts on the Apple Card. Sean Credit, what is your favorite credit card and bank after all the experiences you had using their products? Favorite credit cards are still going to be Chase cards. I think they get a lot right. The only thing you can say bad about them is 524, and like they've got like this idea that the bank is just going to leave the vault wide open and let you wander in and take whatever you want is silly. So they have to have a rule. So I still think Chase cards probably my favorite. They just don't care what you do. They're fine with it. They don't care how many cards you have. You can easily move credit limit if needed, so I'm going to go with them. My favorite bank, it's probably still Ally. Ally's never gotten... The only times Ally's locked my account, it was actually through transfer issues with the external bank. It wasn't Ally's fault. I've had no issues moving money with Ally at all. So for that ease of use, I like them. Chase deposit accounts are absolute trash, and Chase Hyper is for as lax as Chase is with credit cards, they are that much more sensitive on deposit accounts. It actually makes no sense to me. So I'd still go Chase for credit cards. Ally still my favorite bank. I would like Bank of America. I use it. User interface sucks. Amex Business Checking isn't bad on computer. Their app not that great. Citi's not too bad. I just don't use them for anything. So out of accounts I legitimately use, Chase, Ally, I would have to say, because of those reasons. Average 171, Joe. What credit card do you find you get the best value from? Probably the Amazon Prime card. Honestly, it's just so easy to plug in. I get a lot of stuff off Amazon, and plus now they're if you let Amazon pick the delivery day, they're giving you 6% back instead of 5%, which is, nice. Probably that card. I mean, it's hard to say value because it's a no annual fee card, so it's all upside. Well, I guess technically there's a Prime membership, but I think I use that one a lot. I mean, the other ones would have to go to probably Bank of America, I would imagine. That customized cash card at 5 1/4 is pretty nice for one category online, because now I don't have to do a bunch of gift cards anymore for specific stores. If I buy it online, most things count online. And then Unsung Hero it's just nice having the unlimited cash card at 2.6%. 2.6% is enough that if I didn't even want to get a new credit card to pay income taxes, I still come up making a little bit of money there. So it would be those three. I know you asked for one, but I guess I'd put them in that order. Yeah, I'd put them in that order. So one Chase card. I think the Amazon Prime just covers so much, and then the 2 Bank of America cards, I would say. I love the custom cash card, but it's like it's a utility player, so I can't pick it because it doesn't cover enough, really. But the others do cover a lot, so that's what I would do. Leprechaun here. Colorado ballot meddling. How do they dare? We don't even have Biden's free Medicare. I don't even know. All right, like, are you this, like, this has to, audience can weigh in. People have been here for a long time. Because this comment, I'll put the whole thing up. It looks like you just responded to yourself as Leprechaun and then the Red Sox Nation. So my question to you, sir, is like, how do you choose which account to use? I love that you watch on 2 different accounts. I just have all the questions. So I think it's the same thing. Same person, but the audience vote down below. We're going to figure out what the deal is with this Leprechaun guy and Red Sox Nation. I think they're the same person, which I find hilarious. Phoenix Fats here is rounding us out to end the show. So I'm thinking of canceling my Amex green card, or you have my attention, and swapping it out for the Hilton Surpass card. What are your thoughts? I have other travel cards and don't get much value from the airline transfer partners. I mean, I hate the green card, so yeah, cancel away. My opinion is the green card only exists because it nukes the gold and platinum card. So yeah, I think that's it. I like the Surpass a lot more when it was $95. I thought it was a really good sweet spot card. But you're saying, hey, I don't get value from transfer partners, so maybe I just get a Hilton card. I think the Surpass is fine. Again, I liked it back when it was $95. I guess the thing to say would be, if you're like a Hilton loyalist, is there, I don't know, maybe someone will know this, but like one, off the top of my head, I don't think they changed the order of operations for the Hilton cards. They refreshed like the Marriott, the Delta cards, and the green, gold, and the platinum, where like you couldn't regress through the lines. Like if you started with Aspire, then you couldn't go down to get Surpass. So I checked the terms and conditions for the Surpass and see if the order of operations of the Hilton cards matters. It might. So I would do that, and then if it does matter, then I would maybe just, you want to stay with Hilton, then I would probably just go through in order. You could also, they still have like the potential way to play the upgrade game with Hilton cards, where they might offer you an upgrade offer in year number 2, then you could get an Aspire, then take the upgrade offer. But I mean, I think you said it yourself. You got a green card, and you're like, well, the one thing I would say is this. You said you had a green card. You're going to swap it for the Surpass. You're not getting value from the transfer partners, but you can still transfer points to Hilton. So I guess maybe you go with a Hilton card, and then, if you wanted like the Blue Business Plus to be a catch-all card, perhaps, you could do that. I don't know what the Hilton, off the top of my head, if the Surpass is like a 2x on everything or not. But no, I think you try that for a while, and you also see how it works for you, because you always know you can punch up to the Surpass, to the Aspire card if you wanted to. But I think the Surpass is still a good sweet spot card. Again, I just liked it better when it was 95 instead of 150, but I'd agree with that. Because even if you do want to transfer to Hilton, all the Amex cards that are going to allow you to do that are expensive is the problem. And at that point, I would just say, Surpass, and then maybe your number 2 if you can upgrade, or you can just apply outright, then even the Aspire. I still think at $550, the Aspire is still a very good card for what you get. I think it was just overpowered at $450. Now it's kind of like still pretty powerful, but not overpowered anymore. So no, I would say the Surpass is fine. Again, just check the terms and conditions to make sure, and probably wait. if you can, because normally they run high offers every so often on these cards. So if you don't need it right this minute, maybe hang out and see when the next, do some little recon and see what the history of the high offers is on the Hilton card. Since I don't really care about them that much, I don't know off the top of my head. Someone here will know, and then, you know, that's when you pick your spot. Of course, I think I have a Surpass link on profitable content if you just really want it, but I would do that. So overall, I mean, I think you're good there. Yeah, I think we'll do there. So anyways, those are all of our questions answered, hopefully. Again, if you need more answers and more in-depth answers, let me know down below. I believe this should be like, well, this is the last main show for a year. We still have the Sunday show to go if you're watching this live, but if you're not, well then Happy New Year to you, of course. Thank you so much for watching, not just this show, but all the shows from here and all the past years, where your thumbs up, thumbs down, wrote in or not, all the same. Glad to have you here. So of course, if you liked it, drop me a thumbs up down below. If you found it particularly interesting, consider subscribing to the channel. We're posting content just like this every single week. And of course, right back here every Sunday with all the news you can use in the week that was in credit and finance. And of course, every single day over on ProfitableContent.com. As we've said, the channel's blog where we post not only the latest news stories, we have bank promotions, and we have credit card offers, many of which we have plugged here today. But anyways, guys, thank you so much for watching. As always, thank you so much, and I will see you very soon next year, I guess, or on Sunday, whichever one comes first for you. Take care.